the vulnerability that you have on those 6 lane highway academies is very special. Like I said earlier, this is the way of the future for the modern loan officer, and to guarantee you a return on your investment. And like I said, if you're not a lifelong learner, if you're not interested in becoming more influential with your database, a trusted advisor with them, then you should change directions and really focus on that. Maybe not being so sales oriented and being more relationship oriented.
Hey guys, Wally, Elibiary. All right, so what is 24/7 mindset? Most times when you hear 24/7, you're thinking what? 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, just grinding, hustling. I learned over time, a 24-year career in mortgage and multiple other businesses that I own, is unfortunately, you'll get burnt out. I became an absent father, I became an absent husband, and I became a poor business leader because I was trying to work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, trying to build a business, maintain a business. When I learned how to work smarter, not just harder, by doing things the best way it could be done, instead of just simply doing my best, I learned how to work only 24 hours a week, 7 months a year, while I got paid from the business residually 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can do the same. Welcome to the show. Welcome to 24. I guess I should name right. 24/7 mindset. On the show, biggest thing I want to kind of share today is the understanding of awareness. So, an understanding power of database. So, I'm really excited to interview today Cyndi Nunez, and she's going to kind of walk through who she is, what does she enjoy to do about mortgage, and a little bit about her history. Then we'll kind of dig down a little bit more in her business, and I'll kind of share any areas that she feels I can help with. So, who is Cyndi?
Well, Cyndi is a person with a very long career in mortgage, 38 years this year.
Wow. Okay.
I have done everything from underwriting, funding, doc drawing, secondary marketing, managing, loan officer, the whole gamut. And okay. I became a loan officer in 2001 as a manager. I ran a team, started right away in high trust selling with Todd Duncan and by referral only. Yeah. I went to get my CMP certificate with Barry Habib. So right out of the gate, I knew I wanted to be a trusted advisor for my people. And that led me on my journey. And so I've been with Guild now 16 years this year.
Wow.
I am a part of Elevate Coaching, our coaching program.
Nice.
And I run I manage an office here. I've had a team as big as 5. I've had as many employees as 38. And now today we're down to 7. So it's evolved quite a bit in the last few years.
How awesome is that? Guild's an amazing company. We both know a couple of rock star women, Michelle Castle, Shayla Gifford, absolutely huge fans of both of them. I've interviewed both of them, and it's super cool to see. It's super cool when you meet givers and the people that just have a huge heart. And I'm a big fan of both of them.
Right. Well, Michelle is how I found out about you.
Okay.
I was preaching in one of our coaching sessions, and I'm talking about database because I was seeing that our students were not engaged with their past clients. It was like they finished the transaction, never looked back. And so I'm preaching and complaining, and we're trying to brainstorm how to get some engagement with our loan officers to realize that their database they already had the relationship. Why not nurture it? What are you doing? It's not making sense. She goes, "You sound just like Wally." And I was like, "Well, who's Wally?" She's like, "Oh, you got to look him up." So she sends me your information. So that was last year, probably August or September. And I found the 24/7 mindset. I subscribed. So I slowly started watching everything. And then a couple of months ago, Shayla started Elevate. I've been in since 2018. And then Paula Nerschel now is the vice president, and she runs Elevate Coaching.
Okay.
So her and I were talking about how to improve adoption of our database. So I said, "Hey, I'm going to subscribe and I'm going to join Wally's coaching." And she's like, "Great, do that." And she's like, "Whatever your takeaways, and maybe you can learn more." I said, "Awesome, I'll do that." And so a few months ago, I signed up. I've got to be on 6 or 7 of the hour-long coaching sessions that you do. And I just think this is such an important way to do business moving forward. I've never relied on realtors for my business.
Yeah.
I've always relied on my relationship. So I think I am looking for help from you to get into the divorce attorneys, the financial planners. So I'm looking forward to growth in the next couple of years under this program.
Awesome. So for the viewers that don't know, that want to know, what she's referring to is the 6-lane highway coaching. So the academy on the coaching is 90 minutes a week, every Thursday from 2 to 3:30, where I teach usually for 60 minutes. Then we do Q&A for 20, 30 minutes throughout the call. And then I'm teaching you how to go super deep, a mile deep and an inch wide with CPAs, financial advisors, family will attorneys, insurance agents, realtors in your database, allowing you to learn how to turn into a data bank that you can make withdrawals out of. And it's just super cool to hear like success story after success story after success story. There's a gentleman named Frank that wrote me a letter talking about he's been in the business almost 40 years and he was planning on getting out of the business. He thought his best days were behind him. And then now he's learned to focus on his database and now he's having his best year ever. Like, dude, I don't know if any words could make a human feel any better. So it's a super cool to see loan officers, adding Brian Schmidt added over $30,000 in commissions just last month alone. On his second month into it. But it's just been cool to see it. But I guess the question I have for you, Cyndi, is what did you not know before that you feel you know now with the coaching?
A few things. I feel like, well, number one, the vulnerability that you have on the 6-lane highway academies is very special because
what do you mean?
It's just a safe place for the loan officers to talk and collaborate and learn. And so there's not a lot of other coaching programs out there that encourage that collaboration. Like I see. So it's more like one-on-one coaching, or they're telling you what to do, not like, let's talk about your issues. Let's solve them. Let's figure out how you can do that better. And so to have that many people on the calls and to be that vulnerable and sharing and cross-coaching is really special. So
I don't know how to get traction without that. I mean, so it's not,
I agree. Yeah.
It's nothing that I've done purposefully. It's more of like, I want to see you win. For us to figure out how you're going to win, we got to dig in the mud and we got to figure this out. And I've got no interest whatsoever of anybody, including myself, getting on there and saying, hey, look at me. I'm so cool. I can do this, this, and this. I have every interest on there of people getting on there, then adding value to each other, and all ships are raised by the tide if we all move together. So it's cool that you picked up on that.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity for learning, definitely, and I think, I look forward to the growth. So some things I didn't believe before was that I could earn the trust of a financial advisor without already having an established relationship. So number one, it's given me the courage and the mindset to start there, right? To go out, introduce myself, talk about the way I do business, how I can refer my clients that need support. They need trust. They need to know what to do with their money long-term. I mean, financial literacy is lacking. I mean, we can agree, right? To the 10th degree in our country. So, and that is a pain point for me to see, our millennials and the younger adults really not having a concept of saving. So that's one thing that I find very, very important. And I know will be very rewarding for whoever I get the opportunity to work with, and also to make an impact socially and in my community to better the people around me. So that's the biggest takeaway for me so far.
Awesome. Very good. So what's been a great win that you've had since you've been in the academy?
A great win was I set out to call local smaller builders.
Okay.
Because I thought I would have an opportunity to earn business with them, because in my area, there's a lot of ADUs being built. We're in California, major shortage in housing. And so a builder who's actually my down the street neighbor that I didn't really communicate with very often, I reached out to him because I got a flyer in a local paper that he was doing prefabbed ADUs. And so I made a call to him and just say, hey, what are you, how are you marketing this as far as the financing? And he said, I need that. And I've been meaning to try to find somebody to help me that I can partner with. Do you want to meet on Friday? So I went down there on that Friday at 10:30. He added me as a financing opportunity in his brochure. And I've gotten 3 leads out of it in just 3 weeks. So that was a big win for me.
Absolutely awesome. I think what's super cool about that is you had awareness, which is one of my favorite words for loan officers to have, is awareness, understanding what's possible. You studied how to make it possible. You got into action and you won.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. So what have you been struggling with?
Setting aside the time to create a list of the people that I want to go after. I have it kind of in the back of my head, but I really want to have a targeted list. And then I want to have a prepared presentation, not too extravagant, but something where I can meet with them and show them, like I said, my value add, how I feel I could refer to them and vice versa.
Okay.
Because I am in a small community and I don't know how that's going to go over.
Got it.
And if they already have a relationship, I don't know all that. So I just have to, I haven't started that. And I think I'm letting my mindset hold me back a little bit. So maybe you can help me overcome that.
Well, no, I mean, I'm just a big fan of asking questions and you self-discovering your answers. So what leads me to the next question is like, what have you tried to do to overcome that?
Talk to my personal financial advisor.
Okay.
And I've asked him, what value he sees in me because he does refer to me. Not consistently. I think that could be more. I didn't get anything that I didn't already know, but I don't think I made the impact that I wanted to.
Well, what did he say? What did you say? Why was he referring?
He just said, I trust you and you refer business to me. So it was pretty simple, right?
Well, I mean, my response back would be, okay, what does trust look like to you? What does trust feel like? What are some examples that I've done that made you feel that I'm trustworthy? So think of like you're wanting to get to an emotion. You're wanting to get to somebody's motivation. And I picture it like an onion. And you're just peeling back layer after layer after layer. And if you do that long enough with an onion, you start tearing up. Well, you show the emotion. So if I'm picturing in my head an onion, I'm asking questions to get to the point where I'm peeling back to the point where I create emotion. And then emotion you're able to actually articulate in a way that gets someone into action. Did I explain that well?
You did. And that's exactly how I approach my customers and my past clients. So I don't know what the stop for me as far as my peers in like industries, the financial planners, the attorneys. So I'll have to figure that out.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's any more complicated other than if you reframe it in your head that you're already successful in the space, because
Right.
you are. You've got a proven track record of referring clients to a financial advisor and them referring clients back to you. So you've got a proven track record that you're good at what you do, you're trustworthy at what you do, and that you're referable. So just reduplicate that. How did you meet this financial advisor originally?
I did his loan when he first bought a house. He was an accountant before he became a financial advisor.
Cool. Now, what database? What CRM do you use?
I use Salesforce.
Awesome. So I use Jungo Salesforce myself. So I'm assuming you're on Encompass?
No, we have a proprietary system.
Okay, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So there you've got data fields that sync up from your proprietary system to you can sync up job titles.
Yes.
You can sync up employers. So you can get that data to come into your Salesforce. And once into your Salesforce, you download it into Excel sheet and segment it out. Segment out CPA. Segment out financial advisor. Segment out teacher. Segment out attorney. segment out painter, segment out whatever.
Yeah.
And then once you're able to segment out, you just reduplicate the same success. You've already done their mortgage. They've already trusted you. And then now you've got to reach out to them and, hey, remind them the value that you brought last time with them. But then say, hey, I want to learn a little bit more about your industry as a CPA or as a financial advisor or as a family will attorney or as an insurance agent, because my clients are in need of those services. And I want to understand how you'd want me to frame you so I can refer you my clients. Would you be open to that?
I love that.
Who's going to say no?
And you mentioned teacher. What did you, so for a teacher, you would approach a teacher?
Oh, yeah. I segmented out my database. I looked at principals.
Okay.
So when I looked at principals, then you can get granular and you can segment out principals for high schools, elementaries, or whatever. And when I segmented out, then it was principals. And I think I had like 9 principals in my database. And from those 9, I reached out to them. Then I started doing first-time homebuyer classes for all their teachers. So they would have a faculty meeting at like a high school. Average high school had over 80 teachers. And then I'd come in, bring in lunch, rent out the cafeteria or wherever, and then just do a lunch and learn for first-time home buyers. And I'd pick up 7, 8, 9 pre-approvals.
Got it.
And what's super cool about those 7, 8, 9 pre-approvals, guess if they were connected to a realtor or not.
No.
So now I've got 7, 8, 9 pre-approvals that I can hand off to a realtor as, hey, here's a referral from me to you. It's already pre-approved and teacher is ready to buy a house. So think of like the way I position the database, which if you do it correctly, turns into a data bank that you can take withdrawals out of. And the more you're able to segment it out, the more you get to become a laser instead of a shotgun. Where this gets overwhelming for some people and where they fall off the ledge and they don't do anything with it is that they try to go too broad. So if you're in love with teachers, segment out the teachers. If you're in love with financial advisors, segment out financial advisors. If you're in love with attorneys, segment out to attorneys. But pick one of the 6 lanes. Own that lane. Like go a mile deep and an inch wide in that lane. Then once you feel you've mastered that lane, go to the second lane.
That's great. And that helps me because I know that I already have a big pool of teachers to pull from on top of police, firefighters. Yep. And I think I would be more comfortable going in those routes first. Yeah. And that's a great idea.
At the end of the day, everybody you want to meet is 1 degree of separation from you.
Exactly. And that's the way I've always handled my business. So everybody I come in contact with is in my database. Yeah. I'm very related.
If you're in a small town or a large town, I guarantee you've done loans for principals. I just guarantee you have, right? Yeah,
for sure.
And then you've got the 2 tools. You've got the CRM and then you've got the proprietary LOS. So you segment those together and you pull the data from that. You can get a list of super easy targets to go after that already love you, already care about you, and have already trusted you. And all you've got to do is continue that trust in that relationship. And the biggest thing, one of the biggest things I want you to make sure you digest from this is you can go over a hurdle, under a hurdle, around a hurdle, or you can just choose to turn around and avoid the hurdle. So the hurdle that you had was financial advisor, I've got a mental block, So the exercise I did with you is like, okay, so I try to go over the hurdle, didn't get much luck. I try to go under the hurdle, didn't get much luck. Try to go around the hurdle, got a little bit more luck. But then I turned around and said, okay, where's something she's attracted to that she feels she can own that lane? So I turned away from that hurdle and I went to the destination where you want to go.
Awesome. For sure. And I like what you said that I think it was last week's podcast. I was listening. You said your database is a crock pot. It's not a microwave. So that is a great observance and a great way to put it for everybody that's, paying attention to 24/7 mindset or in the academy. I think that was a big, it just hit home for me. Definitely.
Nice. You never know what resonates with everybody. So you'll hear some quirky things that I'll say. Hopefully some of it lands somewhere. So,
right. Yeah, so I can definitely pull my list of teachers, firefighters. I can do that and then pick that lane. And then once I've mastered it.
And you can combine lanes. You can do teachers, firefighters, police officers, and I don't know, EMTs or whatever. And then you can create the Cyndi Heroes reward program. And then you can market it as, hey, this is my way to give back to heroes. Just wanted to reach out to you. Just figure out something that's like, and then it's super cool around that. You could create branding around that. And then, I mean, you can go mile deep and inch wide in this niche. But the biggest thing is there's one of my favorite books of all time is by Jack Reese. And he wrote the book called Positioning and Niching. And he talked about how so many people go to areas that have a ton of different competition. Like if you go after financial advisors, more competition there. But if you go after teachers, there's less competition. So if you get in a spot that you become the majority of that niche, which is teachers, and it makes it so much easier to go from teachers to firefighters to whoever. But you've got to get traction. You got to get some more successes. And it sounds like you're the type that gets really inspired when she has some wins behind her.
Right.
It's which is great. You just got to keep giving yourself wins and celebrate even the small wins, because that will keep you motivated.
Right. I'm easily motivated. That's the thing. If I'm comfortable, I can go at it all day long, and then the wins just make it better, I think and I think that the whole, like I said to you earlier, this whole concept is the way of the future for this business.
Mm-hmm.
Because look at what's happening with NAR and, all of the different things that are going to evolve in our industry, the competition, just let alone if you're not working it from this angle, you're going to be missing out. So I think for me, hands down.
Well, what's super cool about the academies is I think the tallied up was like 57% of everybody in the academy had a better first quarter of 2024 than they had in 2023.
Right.
And that's only going to compound and improve and improve and improve and improve. And you're seeing success story after success story because it's business is easier. It's easier to call your past clients and make additional income. It's harder to do open houses and cold call agents and try to get business. I think in 2023, most people, it was like freak out mode and they were going after, cold calling agents or cold calling leads or open houses or pop buys. And before you know it, it's like there's so much easier to do business when you have a clear understanding of how to get easy wins from your database.
Right. And the funny thing I was thinking about today before we got on the call is salespeople aren't necessarily relationship people. And so I think the people that are true salespeople are still stuck in that mode. For me, I'm a relationship person. And I love the relationships that I have with my clients at the time I'm doing the transaction. And I love the fact that I can keep that relationship going with it's 7-day, 30-day, 6-month, 12-month, right?
Yeah.
So those are things that I was doing, but now you have the system, it's all written out. So I'm like, now I don't even have to write it out for the next person that I bring on board on my team because it's already written by Wally. There's some pretty amazing tools in there and they all align perfectly with my goals. So
just be careful. There's probably some misspellings in there, but I think I learned a long time ago. I get paid to sell and not spell. Right. But it's funny being an author and having challenges with grammar. So have you purchased the Client Concierge system?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's a super cool tool. I'd go back into it. So when was the last time you were in the system?
Just last week. I made sure I had everything downloaded to my system so I can go back and replay and reread and go through everything.
Go back in there. You'll be surprised. So there's 29 previous modules. Now there's 54.
Oh,
so there was like a mastery level in there. You also get the ebook, you get the audio book. Now I created a workbook for 24/7 mindset, and that's also in there. And then also from there, then I give, I think it was like a another 17 module video breakdown of how to increase conversion. So
I have most of that. Definitely.
Yeah.
I have most of that already. The workbook is very nice.
Good.
So I've gotten into it a couple times. I just need to set some time. My husband also, we own another business, so
Okay.
I have a pretty busy life, but I need to make time to get in there and read. But I'm slowly making my way through that in the podcast. But
Well, you're absolutely making my day that you're actually implementing and you're absorbing the content. As a trainer or coach or whatever you want to call me, like I get these like great ideas that, hey, this would be a great tool for someone. They can do dot, 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 dot. But then you realize like not everybody wants to do dot, 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 dot. Sometimes they just want the cool widget, but it's inspiring when someone takes the cool widget, brings it to life, and then starts making an income from that cool widget.
Yeah, I'm a lifelong learner. I love to learn. I love new things. I mean, I can honestly say I'm almost 40 years in this industry, and I still want to gain knowledge every day. So, of course, I'm going to dive into it. Plus, I'm a coach myself, within Guild. So those are just those are the traits that make us better and challenge us to continue to grow.
Awesome. So, what is Guild coaching like?
It's very collaborative, kind of like yours, the Academy. So it's one coach with 4 students.
Okay.
And we coach on mindset, tactics, scripts, and just any struggles that they're having. So it's not as targeted, obviously, as what you have to offer.
Yeah.
So I think it would be a beautiful accent for students who would want to go the next level, because you do give so much content for that. And I will be sharing it. So I hope they take the time to join and download the all the tactics and look at your information as well.
Why don't I offer this then? What if we did, I just did the same thing for Movement Mortgage last week, and they had like 400 loan officers on there. But why don't we do a private webinar for Guild of me coming on there for 45 minutes or an hour, me teaching the client concierge system and me teaching how it's helped build my business. And then I can give away some scripts, give away some templates, and then you guys can just simply take it from there.
I would love that. I'll take that back to Paula and Jessica, the 2 that I work with the closest. Yeah. I think that would be amazing.
Cool. Well, once you just toss us on an email, you got my email, and let me know what the next steps would be, and we'll get something scheduled, and happy to help. Didn't Michelle connect us about me coming out to speak for you guys or something?
Yeah, we have a summit in June in Vegas, but they decided it's the first one. And because of the cost for the loan officers and the amount of time that we had available, they decided to keep it only internal speakers.
Yeah.
But we are going to do it every 6 months. And the next time, hopefully it will be longer and more flexible. And that would be a great opportunity to have you come out then.
Yeah. Is every mortgage conference in Vegas, for God's sakes? Like everybody goes to
I do not know. I think they chose Vegas because there's so many people from all over the country. It's an easy place to get to. But I don't know. That's the first one we've had there.
Yeah. I can only take so much of Vegas. But it's, I think max like 2-3 days. But
yeah, me too. It's not like it used to be, but I haven't been to Vegas on a work trip in several years. But we come in, it's only a day and a half, so it's going to be really quick. So we'll see. Hopefully it goes well.
All right. So as we kind of wrap up, what's your takeaways from today's call?
The targeted system for where I'm comfortable.
Okay.
And I'm already thinking how I'm going to execute that. I'm going to probably figure out how to run a report when we hang up and take it from there. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a segmentation. I visualize a laser instead of a shotgun.
Right.
You can, a shotgun can only do so much, and it's very low control. Obviously it can create damage, but a laser, you can cure cancer with it. You can cut glass, you can shape a diamond. I mean, there's so much more you can do, but more importantly, it just reminds me of focus. And there's another great book that I absolutely love. It's called The One Thing by Gary Keller and Jay Papasan. And the quote in there says, his words is, what is the one thing such by doing it makes everything else easy or unnecessary? What's great about that is like, what is the one thing? Not of what are the few things.
Right.
And then he says, such by doing it, which creates action. such by doing it. And it makes everything else easy or unnecessary. So it helps you clear out the noise. So it's super cool of like your one thing should be segmentation. How do you segment out, which clears out the noise, helps you have clarity on what you want to prospect and what you want to go after? And then you're already brave enough to implement. You just need to be able to clear out the path.
Right. I appreciate that.
Sure. All right. Well, I always give the speakers the closing thoughts. So if you're talking to an audience of mortgage loan officers or CPAs or financial advisors or professionals out there in general, what's some words of advice that you have for them?
I think, like I said earlier, this is the way of the future for the modern loan officer, and to guarantee you a return on your investment. I think that, and all of the material that you provide in your system is invaluable in my mind. And it's unlike any other coaching. So I'm super thrilled about it. And like I said, if you're not a lifelong learner, if you're not interested in becoming more influential with your database, a trusted advisor with them, then you should change directions and really focus on that. Maybe not being so sales oriented and being more relationship oriented.
Yeah. Well, who is the leader of Guild Coaching again?
Paula Nerschel.
So why don't we do this? I'm a big fan of abundance. Why don't you introduce me to her also after you talk to her, and I can have her on the show and she can talk about why Guild Coaching is so great and why other loan officers should join Guild Coaching. And then we'll help market it for you guys.
I would love that. Thank you. That'd be great. And she'll be thrilled.
All right. Well, so your homework, two pieces of homework. One is, do you want me to do a free webinar for Guild loan officers? Number two, let me know if Paula wants me to interview her to put her in the spotlight, and then we can take it from there.
She will, definitely. I can guarantee you that.
All right, Cyndi. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Yep.
And let me know what else I can do to help.
Thank you.
All right. See you Thursday. Bye-bye. So thank you so much for listening today. It means a lot you took time out of your day. I don't take that lightly. Understand very clearly that you're very busy. With that being said, if you want to continue your journey and learn more about 24/7 Mindset, if you're on Facebook, which I'm going to guess you are, then go to 24/7 Mindset on Facebook and join the private community. I do coaching tips on there on a daily basis, but from scripts on there to systems on there, models, and the ability to be able to grow and scale a business while you have a quality of life. Hope to see you there.